844-926-6632. They can also connect with legal services.
All right, what's up, everybody? This is Honda 420. I am recording this. I'm going to post it later. I'm recording it live. I am on a, what would you call it? A town hall phone call with my Senator Jason Crow. Now, all of you guys who watch my channel regularly know that I am strictly opposed to these socialist Democrat politicians and their policies and things like that, as well as the vaccine rollout and plans that they have to have vaccine passports and things like that. So I think I'm going to be asking him specifically about that. But it's going to be funny, I hope, and we'll see. If not, I guess I'll never post this and you guys will never see it. But I'm going to try to ask it like I'm a leftist. That way I actually get a response. And hopefully when I do that, it eggs them on a little bit to maybe go down the rabbit hole a little further than they would if they were talking to someone who was opposed to them. So all that being said, we're going to go to the phone call here now and listen into what they're talking about. I have pressed the button to ask a question. I think they go through a vetting process. So again, I have to act like a leftist when they talk to me, but here we are and here we go.
Only these is really working to protect housing people and keeping in their homes safely during time. And it's all focused on a resilient Colorado, recovering, building back better.
Oh, there you go, building back better.
So just to highlight a few of the programs that will be supported in addition.
Socialism.
To this rental assistance program and the housing counseling program. We will also be working through homeownership assistance. And so assistance with mortgage payments, housing costs, forbearance, delinquency, default, principal and interest rate reductions. These are the types of things that the American Rescue Plan will help for homeowners. Also, regarding homelessness, there will be services dollars.
Of which there are more homeless people in Colorado right now than in the entire history of the world.
So there are many different programs that the American Rescue Plan will be supporting, and we'll be providing more information, but you can go to our website at DOLA-DOH and do that as a Google search to find the information you need. I'm happy to answer any questions as well, Congressman Crow. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. So, Dirk, back over to you to, I think, start questions.
Happy to do that, Congressman. And to repeat what I mentioned at the beginning of this call, this is an interactive live telephone town hall. If you have a question you would like to ask and you're listening on your telephone, all you need to do is press *3 to enter the question queue. Again, press *3 on your telephone to enter the question queue.
The Access Live event operator has been notified that you wish to ask a question.
Online,
Oh.
just enter your name.
Well, I thought I had already done that, but apparently not.
And we're heading out to Hudson first. We've got Dan on the line. Welcome to the call, Dan. Go ahead with your question.
I live out in Hudson. I've got an office in Aurora. We run a business. We weathered last year fairly well. Things are getting really tight. We applied for the PPP loan back in February, but there's no answers. We call every day, and we just yesterday we had to lay off some employees because we're real tight, and we haven't gotten any answers as far as when we're going to receive that PPP loan. So that's my question: is just when can we expect some relief on that front?
The answer is never, because giant corporations
and,
swallowed up all the Paycheck Protection Program loans.
Sounds like you're doing the best you can to keep the business going, to keep the employees on. There does seem to be something that's holding up your loan, right? Because the fact that you applied back in February, that loan hasn't yet been funded, tells me that it's moving slower than normal, because it usually does not take that long.
Oh, God, you're a genius.
So in the American Rescue Plan, we actually extended the application period, as you know, until May 31st. And then it also, along with that, extended the period where those loans can be funded until June 30th. So you actually still have that time for the funding that's available. But what I would recommend you do is go to our website and call our office, and we will try to connect you with somebody.
Dude, he literally just said he's been calling and calling and calling and calling every single day, and your solution is to have him call more, you fuck ass?
Your specific application to see if there's something that maybe we could do
Christ.
to be helpful to you, because without knowing more about your specific application and your business, I can't say right now what's
that guy's
holding
happy
it up,
right now.
other than that it is a longer period than normal between the application.
Yeah, I waited 16 weeks to get my unemployment.
So we'd be happy to look into that and help. And one other thing I'll mention to you and other small business owners, that we are actually holding a PPP webinar on April 15th with Francis Padilla, who's the director of the Color District Office of the SBA. And in those webinars, we've done several of those in the last year. We'll be covering application process, taking questions from folks on specific issues regarding their applications, and kind of common pitfalls as well. So you could join us on the 15th, but also reach out to us sooner, Dan, if you need to.
So our next question comes from Christine, who submitted it online. And Christine wonders, is there any assistance for self-employed small businesses like travel agents?
Yeah, get a better job than being
Christine,
a travel agent.
The answer is yes. The American Rescue Plan included billions of additional funding for small businesses.
How the fuck do travel agents make money?
$7.25 billion
with like
funding to support
Trivago and TripAdvisor and all these different websites that just do it all automatically for you? I don't understand.
And the Rescue Plan also extended the pandemic unemployment assistance for sole proprietors. So in an instance like yours, where you're a sole proprietor, where you're running your own business, it sounds like, and you're the sole employee, the pandemic unemployment assistance program would be specifically designed for your situation. So you could look into that program. You could join our webinar on the 15th, or reach out to our office, and we would be happy to connect you directly with somebody at the SBA that can help work you through the specifics of that unemployment assistance program.
It took me 16 weeks to get
We're going
unemployment
back to
started
the phones
paying.
now. We've got Michael and Aurora joining us. Michael, welcome to the call. You're live with Congressman Crow. What is your question?
Hi there, this is Emma with Team Crow. Can I ask what your name is?
My name's Mark.
Hi, Mark, and your last name?
Nyans.
Alrighty. And what city and zip code are you calling me from this evening?
80122, Littleton, Colorado.
Great. And what's your question this evening?
My question is for people who refuse to get the vaccine, what the government is planning to do about the people who don't want to do it, you know?
Great question. I'm just jotting it down here. Alrighty, and we do like to follow up with each of our callers after the call. Do you have an email that you want to share with me?
Sure, it's thehonda720@gmail.com.
Right, so I'm going to add your question to the queue here, and then if it gets chosen, you will be put live on the call, and you'll get to ask the congressman directly. But we do have a ton of questions that are getting asked, so we probably won't get to all of them. But if you don't get the chance to talk on the call, feel free to reach out to our office, and we will be happy to chat with you then, okay? Have a great evening.
This sounds like a great question for General Sherman.
Okay, that sounds like something that they're like, yeah, we don't want you asking that shit, so we're not actually going to let you talk.
When you sign up, it'll tell you what places that offer the J&J vaccine. The best places you can do it are the community vaccination folks seeing the preponderance of our Johnson & Johnson vaccine. This week they're doing 55,000 doses, and 45,000 of that is Johnson & Johnson vaccine. The other part of it is Pfizer, since Pfizer's only eligible for 16 and 17-year-olds. So please visit our website, docovidvaccine.org, or call 1-877 268.
Okay, real quick. Pfizer's only
And they can
available
help you
for
get scheduled
16 and
for that.
17-year-olds. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, and General, could you repeat that one more time? And after you do, would you also be able to explain to Darlene?
And what is the
when she
death
goes to
rate
that
amongst
website,
16
is there
and
a
17-year-olds who are not
mechanism
vaccinated
that
who
you would
catch
use,
this?
or a way
Is
that
it,
you
does
would
that
use
outweigh
to
the
indicate that
risk
she
of
can- she's
taking an
only eligible for the
unproven,
Johnson & Johnson?
untested
Does it allow
vaccine?
her to choose that, and then
No.
the number of sites that are available?
I would say, Darlene, I think the best way, since you're vaccinated, because this is what you have, the best way is to call our helpline at 1-877-268-2926.
Dude, they just said that they got a million vaccines in between last week and this week.
Get signed at one of the community vaccination sites.
It's like,
or
hell to the fuck no.
Federal retail pharmacy
Hell
program.
fucking no.
Johnson & Johnson.
Will I ever be letting you motherfuckers stick my arm with a fucking needle? I'm sorry. I don't care. Like, dude, it might be 100% fucking good to go. It might be.
Next up, we've got Tracy joining us
100%
live from Brighton. Tracy,
totally
welcome
fine.
to the call. Go ahead with your question.
And there is a 0% chance that I
Hi,
will
my
ever take
question
it.
is, I have applied for rent assistance. I'm here in Brighton, and I have not gotten any response back yet. I was wondering,
Good
what
luck.
is the average time running right now to turn those decisions over for rent assistance?
This sounds like a great question for Ms. George, and Ms. George, it would be great if you could field this.
Absolutely. Thank you, Congressman Crow and Tracy. We are working through a tremendous backlog, as you may have heard already. With the beginning of 2021, we have seen thousands of more applications than we actually saw in 2020.
Right, because people ran out of money, and now they can't pay their fucking rent.
Over $67 million. 35 of that was in 2020. So we have already almost doubled our expenditure in this year. But we know that we're behind, and so we brought on an outside firm that is helping and has hired nearly 100 people to start working through this backlog. We anticipate being caught up mid-May. I know that is not answering your question directly because we're trying to work through people that have eviction orders first. Trying to prioritize trying to keep people in their housing. So if you do
so you have to go to the point where you're being evicted before they'll give you fucking
call our
assistance.
1-800 line in order to ensure that that is submitted with your
So I just got an apartment. Maybe I just won't pay rent until they're like, hey, we're kicking you out. And then I'll apply for rental assistance, and then they can just pay my rent. It'll be great.
1-800 line for you as well. Congressman Crow, do you want to go on to the next question?
Yeah,
I will provide that.
Yeah, absolutely. When you are grabbing that line, I'm going to add something as well for Tracy's consideration. The American Rescue Plan also did dramatically increase the available funds for rental assistance and utility assistance. So over $21 billion for emergency rental and utility assistance funds, which will be going out to the states. $5 billion for emergency housing vouchers to those at risk of homelessness. Over $9 billion for a homeowner assistance fund to help homeowners pay mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, and other expenses.
So think about this.
Over
back in
low,
March, so 13 months ago,
to help people pay
you
their
could have
utility
gone on
bills.
unemployment,
So
got your
that
extra,
funding was a big part of their
all of your
rescue
unemployment
plan.
money, plus
It is in the
$600 a
process
week
of
for the
going
first
out,
like 4 months or
to
whatever it
help
was.
folks that are in situations
And then now they're giving you an
your
extra $300 a week, and they
analysis. Did you find that
basically
number?
made it so that you don't have to, you don't ever have to pay your rent because they can't kick you out. And now they're giving people money to pay their rent and their utilities on top of it. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, what's going to happen to the dollar?
If you wanted to email me, I can also help ensure that timeliness of responses. And so my email address is allison.george, ALISON .GEORGE @state.co.us.
Everyone email her.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right, next up we've got Kim live on the line from Franktown. Kim, welcome to the call. You're live with Representative Crow.
Hello, Representative Crow. I'm Kim Shepard here. We were living in Aurora and literally just moved to Franktown. I did go on the website and look at the different stores that are offering the vaccines, and I can't seem to find any available appointments or any stores that actually have the vaccine in the store. So I'm wondering if there's a certain waiting period for different age groups when I fill out the initial form, or if it's just one of those things where it's just not available in this area. What's your advice on that?
Yeah, thanks, Kim. General Sherman, would you care to weigh in on that question?
Yeah, hey Kim. So thanks for the question. I would tell you I would look further out, because if it's not in your area, there's also areas to look at. If you go to another good tool is vaccinespotter.org, VACCINE spotter SPOTTER.org, and from there you can put in your zip code and check from there, and that website will help you find appointments, especially at pharmacies and at hospitals, and it'll direct you to that website to get you signed up. We have all the major healthcare providers. We're not down to the provider level at the primary care level, but all the major providers, all the pharmacies, and of course our community vaccination sites to sign up there too.
Great, thanks, General.
So our next caller, we've got Larry from Aurora. Hello, Larry. What is your question? Hello, Larry. You're live.
Fuck you, Larry. No one likes
Larry,
you.
are you there?
Fucking next
Looking
caller.
for Larry in Aurora. We'll see if we can bring Larry back here.
Yeah, I think this one's probably going to go to Miss George. I'm wondering what's okay. Apparently, there's a bit of a delay on my line.
If you're listening on your computer, there will be a delay, but if you listen to the phone call, there's no delay, sir.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead with your question, please.
Jesus Christ.
Can you hear me?
Jesus Christ.
Yes,
Fucking
sir.
shit. God damn it, just go to the next caller.
As mentioned, we seem to be having a technical difficulty there getting Larry live. We'll work to get him back. We'll move on with another caller. We've got Marcy on the line with us live. Marcy, go right ahead, please.
Yes, my current situation is that I became homeless because I became disabled. I had a kind of a surgery that a knee replacement. I had a knee replacement September before the corona that got infected. Well, all that caused me that I'm going on disability because I'm waiting a second surgery. But I became homeless in that situation, and I am desperately in need of some type of housing. I have
Jesus
been
Christ.
couch surfing, and with my medical condition, having epilepsy and stuff like that, I need help as soon as I can to get housing.
I mean, I've got a solution
Hi,
for you,
Marcy.
lady.
I'm very sorry to hear about your
Nothing I can say
your
online, though.
struggles here and everything you've been through. I would love to direct this to Ms. George. What would be the best way, Ms. George, for Marcy to get stable housing?
A bullet.
Thank you, Congressman Crow. Marcy, I
Think
would
you're gonna be
actually
homeless.
like you to email me so that I can get you, because I don't know where you're located and what agency I should be connecting you to, because we work with lots of local agencies in different areas. And so I want to make sure that I'm getting you the right resources. So if you could email me, Marcy, I would appreciate that. My email address is allison.george@ alison.george.state.co.us, and so that's alison.george.
Everyone email her.
You can also go to the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless. Exact location, and I don't want to ask on this public call personal information like that, so you should feel free to reach out to me directly.
Thank you. I appreciate that response very much.
All right, next up, we were having trouble getting Larry connected so he could ask live, but here is Larry's question. Larry is wondering, what is being done to get shots in the arms of our homeless?
Shots in the arms. Does he listen to Biden? I think so. He listens to me.
I can take that question. This is John Sherman. So we actually are working with all the counties through our equity task force that's actually getting doses and hosting clinics that are getting predominantly with our homeless population. We're using Johnson & Johnson vaccine, but we're setting up clinics, and we're also working both with the county of El Paso County, city and county of Denver, and Aurora to work with them to also get a vaccination site set up for the homeless. We've been very successful so far, and we're continuing to do that at all the shelters and anywhere where the communities or the counties determine that the best site to hold a vaccination site would be, that we can do that.
Great. Thanks, General.
Moving back to the phones, we've got Adela from Centennial on the line with us. Adela, welcome to the call. Go ahead with your question, please.
Hello, and thank you, Congressman, for having this public telephone and internet
Jesus Christ, could you suck his dick a little harder before you ask his question?
I appreciate all that you've done for all of us in D.C. and here locally.
God damn it.
But my question is, I have been a hardworking person up to 2018 and filed all my taxes. I went through a series of unemployment back and forth, layoffs and so forth in 2019. And my income did not require me to file income taxes because the amount was so low. At that particular time, I was worried and hopeful to receive the $1,200 stimulus. So I did IRS free file in order to qualify for the stimulus. And I eventually got it, the $1,200 one. And I also received the $600. What my problem is, I omitted my dependent that is an early college student. And as a result, I received the most recent stimulus of $1,400, but I certainly could use the additional to help my college student because it's really hard doing whatever I can do to help support myself and him, and due to age discrimination, I'm having difficulty securing employment.
Due to age discrimination?
Information you can share with me what I can do at this point to possibly recover the additional stimulus to help my college students.
Yeah, thanks, Odella. So that's an interesting situation. If you received the first and the second payments,
then you're going to get the third.
It's not clear from your question whether or not you received payments for your dependent, for your child during those first and second, yet you didn't for your third. But
I love how a college kid is considered a child.
You would have to claim those.
Oh, your 20-year-old is a child.
So that might require an amendment or filing that 2020 tax return with your dependent listed, because you should receive that additional payment. That should be an automatic payment for those dependents that you claim on your tax returns. So the best thing for you to probably do would be to call our office. Go to our website.
How much you guys want to bet they don't even get to my call?
And either send us an email or call our office, and we can look into your specific situation. There's a taxpayer advocacy office with the IRS that can sometimes help you work through specific situations that you're in right now. Because we definitely want to make sure that you're getting the money that you are entitled to under these programs, and that would include money for your dependents as well. So please, if you have gone through and already filed those tax returns and you're not getting that money, please reach out to us and we will look into your situation and see what we can do to expedite that.
It is wonderful to see so many people participating in tonight's live telephone town hall with Congressman Crow. If you're listening on your phone and you have a question you would like to ask live during this call, please press star 3 on your telephone keypad.
As I did.
Again, press star 3 to enter the question queue. If you're listening to this conversation online, just place your name and question below the streaming player and hit enter. Next, we're going back to the phones. We've got Joya on the line with us. Joya, welcome to the call. You're live with Congressman Crow.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call. My question regards the prioritizing of the Social Security recipients. I haven't gotten my check, which was erroneously called a stimulus check. It was a survival check. The last one that I got, the first one, went for the payment of taxes on my home, which even though I own all the other needs of insurance and utilities and taxes and sewer and water, all of those things are still due. And when I hear of the people that have unemployment and some income coming, and that I know that there are many other people like me, I have individuals that I know have not received this Social Security, their check, because they're on the end of it. These payments have been going out, and I
wait. You get Social Security, disability, retirement, whatever from the fund that we all pay into, right? Which was already set up before there was a pandemic, presumably, right? Like before the pandemic even started, you were on Social Security, meaning nothing has changed for you. And like everyone got that, their stimulus check, which again is a stimulus check, but survival check to you, right? How is it that you are so far behind on your bills? I don't understand. That would be my question.
It's $1,400. They gave it to the IRS on March 25th, and now the IRS has gone through the process of validating those records. So the payments are starting to go out now. So you should get it very, very soon. The majority, my understanding is the majority are going to be dispersed electronically starting this week. So hopefully you get it this week, if not next week. One thing I will say, if you're using the economic impact payment, and you're right, this is a crisis payment. There's no doubt about it for folks like you and many folks that are receiving these payments. There are other pots
and then that was a lie because they said that it went out March 25th. Right? Like, it got approved and the IRS got that money on March 25th. I got my $1,400 payment on March 17th.
So I have not received that payment this week. You should call our office or look at our website and reach out to us, and we can check into your specific situation and make sure that there's nothing wrong with your payment that hasn't been held up for some reason. We want to make sure it's getting there really quick. But I'm also going to invite Ms. George to chime in here and talk about some of the other resources that are available to help you pay some of your housing costs so that you're not having to use this next round of payment for that. Ms. George?
Yes, thank you, Congressman. So I had mentioned the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, and so you can go to our website and apply online for the ERAP program.
See, that lady sounded like she was 80. I doubt she even has a computer.
Actually, HR 133, but those are funds, stimulus funds recently, and we will continue this program with the American Rescue Plan. There will be mortgage assistance that will be available once those funds are transferred to the state. And so that mortgage assistance should be available in the next month or two, and we can pay in arrears, so we can pay past due mortgage payments. So please do look at our website. An easier email or address that you can look at for our website is
Jesus, this audio sucks.
COLA.
God damn it. That audio is fucking awful. Sorry, guys.
And then by going to housing on that website, you can find these mortgage and rental assistance programs.
Thank you.
Moving on, we've got James on the line with us now. James, welcome to the call. Go ahead with your question, please.
Hey there, James.
Hello, James. Are you there?
Are you looking for Jim in Centennial?
Okay, Jim. Absolutely. Please go ahead with your question, please.
Thank you. Appreciate the information so far tonight. This is really for the general. Could you quickly run over the numbers you stated earlier on the number of vaccines and percentage of first vaccines and fully vaccinated?
Sure. So we've received in the state 3.5 million doses, a little bit over now since we got doses yesterday and today. Served almost 3.1 million of. As of today, we were at 24 points of the 4.7 million eligible call rations fully vaccinated. Did that answer your question, Jim?
4.7 million call. There's 7 million people in Colorado.
But the number of fully vaccinated was what?
24.8%. The actual number that's fully vaccinated is 1,166,912 people as of 5 o'clock tonight.
And in general, just to clarify for the listeners at home here, so when you're talking about the difference between the number of doses versus the population that's been vaccinated, that difference is that many of these vaccines are 2-dose vaccines. So the dose number might be higher than, or is going to be higher than the number of fully vaccinated at this point.
Duh.
Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you.
Got Regina joining us from Aurora. Regina, welcome to the call. Go ahead with your question for Congressman Crow.
Yes, my question is, I've noticed that there's financial assistance for those who are renters and financial assistance for, I'm assuming, people who are currently living in their address and have a mortgage. But is there going to be an assistance for people who are landlords and who have renters who cannot afford their rent?
Yeah, thanks, Regina. So that's an important question because what not a lot of people realize is that over 40% of landlords are actually mom and pop landlords. These are people that own one additional home as kind of retirement income or investment income. These aren't companies that own big apartment complexes. Close to half are just those mom and pop businesses. So that's why when we did an eviction moratorium, when we extended the eviction moratorium, and the administration did that actually through the Centers for Disease Control, it was also important that we coupled that with the utility assistance and the rental assistance fund. So,
dude, that's funny because my buddy has a guy who hasn't paid him rent in over a year because of that moratorium and owes him like $25,000.
The renter has to apply for it, and then the money flows directly to the landlords so that they're made whole as well. And a lot of those mom and pop landlords can make sure that they're keeping their home and not being foreclosed on it as well. That's been the approach.
So wait.
Well,
Was that? Did he just say the onus is upon the person who's renting the apartment and not paying rent to apply for assistance to get the assistance for the person who owns the place?
You might be familiar with a program that we had started with state funds called the Property Owner Preservation Program. When we fully obligated those state funds, we did have to transition to the new federal rental assistance funds. So property owners can actually apply through that same portal, the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, and that's the email address that I had provided earlier. And you can also search for that on our website. So landlords can apply on behalf of their residents on our website. That said, there is information that the tenants also have to upload. So it's a dual system for both the landlords and for the tenants. So you can still apply on behalf of your residents.
Okay, there we go.
Moving on, we've got a question submitted by Mohammed Online, who wonders how can we work together about the most recent issue of gun control in the
Oh
USA.
my God, here we go.
Yeah, thanks, Mohammed. I appreciate you asking that question.
He wants to know because he wants to be the only one with a gun so he can kill everybody.
That it's way
'Cause his
past
name's Mohammed.
time for common sense gun violence prevention in our community. We are a community that has been disproportionately impacted by gun violence, from Columbine to STEM High School to Aurora to Boulder recently. And also the gun violence that takes lives every day in our community, hundreds and thousands.
Right, because that's black on black and no one knows about
This
those.
is not the environment that we want to be raising our kids in. And what's more,
Like my
is
friend at work
it
who
doesn't have
witnessed
to be
someone
this
getting
way,
murdered in front of her in
right?
traffic the other
There
day.
are common sense things that we can do at the federal level, like passing universal background checks that would keep guns out of.
Wait, we already have that in Colorado.
A danger to themselves and others, and they work.
We already have that in Colorado.
We've never said that any one gun violence prevention measure is going to prevent every shooting or every death. It won't, because no policy is perfect. But it will save a lot of lives, and it will make a big difference. And that's why I have long led on this issue. I was a sponsor of the Universal Background Checks Bill, HRA. I've long called for reinstituting the assault weapons ban in America, because when that ban was in place for the decade before, when it was in place, mass
It
shootings
made
with those
no
firearms
difference
went down
whatsoever.
over 30%.
That happened during Columbine, you fucktard.
Me to continue to
Jesus
push
Christ.
really hard to be your advocate in Washington.
Okay, did Columbine happen during the assault weapons ban?
So back to the phones. We've got Debbie from Highlands Ranch joining us now. Debbie, you're live with Congressman Crow. What is your question?
Thank you for taking my call. I'm just wondering if I heard correctly at the beginning of the call that the American Rescue Plan may have assistance for first-time home buyers, maybe for their down payments, etc.
Yeah, Debbie. So not directly. I mean, there's not a program that would directly provide like down payment assistance for first-time home buyers. There is $9.9 billion for a homeowner assistance fund to help current homeowners pay mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, and other expenses. But the need for existing homeowners is so desperate. We wanted to make sure that we were preventing what happened in 2008 and 2009. And Debbie, as you might recall, what happened in 2008 and 2009 during that financial crisis is there was a housing bubble. People lost their homes.
There was a housing bubble because the government got involved and forced the lenders to give out loans to subprime loaners, and then made consolidated debt obligations, CDOs, that they then sold back to people rated prime because the government's corrupt as fuck. That is not. Oh my fucking God.
For the most part, we've been able to prevent that. These programs have been effective in doing just that.
Oh my God.
But would you have anything to add to that, Ms. George?
Fuck me.
Thank you, Congressman. I don't. That was a great explanation.
Thank you, Debbie.
All right, moving on, we've got a question submitted by Matthew and Parker. And Matthew is asking if there are recently passed or pending elements of funding for VA programs.
Oh, is that an online question?
This is a caller question that has asked me to read the question, Congressman.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Dirk. So the answer is yes. The focus has been on vaccination. So the VA has actually been doing a remarkable job on making sure that we get our veterans vaccinated.
That's what the VA is for getting people vaccinated.
Which is the region that covers
right.
Colorado.
Because when you go to a foreign country and fight a war of terror on other countries and then get injured and then have a lifelong problem and then you have to deal with the VA from then on, not to mention all the shots that they give you in the fucking military, the thing that you want to hear when you're calling about military or VA fucking funding and stuff like that is how they're going to give you the vaccine there.
Then you're able to go and get a separate tranche of vaccinations, and I would encourage you to do so.
Still.
In addition to that, the American Rescue Plan actually eliminated the veterans' COVID-related co-payments and cost sharing from April 6, 2020 through September 30th of this year, 2021, to give some forbearance and some economic relief to veterans as well. And then the last piece I will mention is it includes over $14 billion for VA provided healthcare services and other related services into the system, so helping to kind of make sure that the system is strong and solvent and can meet the unique needs of our veterans.
So, Congressman, I'm being told that we're nearing the end of time we have for this call. So that question will conclude our live telephone town hall.
Well, what do you know?
I hope you found tonight's discussion very informative.
No, I didn't.
Before we turn it back over to the Congressman for his closing remarks, please remember, if we were unable to answer your question,
then fuck off.
You can certainly leave a comment or stay on the line and leave a voicemail at the end of this call. Or you can reach Congressman Crow's office at 720-748-7514. And Congressman Crow, it's back to you for closing remarks, sir.
Thank you, Derek. I appreciate it. I appreciate your professionalism and great job moderating as always. It just would not be a Team Crow.
Well, this was bullshit. Never mind.